Hello Devil are we everyone. Welcome to today's video. Firstly, thanks for everyone's support recently. Obviously my previous video was me passing my my class 1 practical, so really happy about that. So a massive thank you to all you guys for all of your support, kind comments on my achievement, and I hope all you guys that are doing your driving at the moment managed to get a big green tick or a big pass at the end of your practical as well. So thank you once again. For those who haven't met me before, feel free to please follow my continued journey as a HGV driver. You can subscribe above to my channel and follow my continuous journey throughout my HGV career, and which will be starting very soon once I get receive my driving license card back. So for those that are wondering why it's taken me so long to get on the road, to start driving, to work with agencies or to work with an employer, it's purely because there's been a slight delay. The reason being is because I haven't completed my Module 4 yet, which is my CPC course. I've done my CPC case studies during my theory and hazard perception, but I'm still waiting to complete my Module 4 CPC. Without my driver card, I can't start my course, basically. So I was booked in, I was taken off because I lost my driving license card, but I lost my driving license card on the day I passed my practical assessment. Now you're probably thinking, you absolute, well, I won't say it on camera, but use whatever word you wish. And believe me, I've been beating myself up ever since. I passed on the 16th of September. I'm so annoyed. So I've had to reapply for my license. I've had to send off my practical pass certificate to DVLA to update my license with my new qualifications. So I'm just waiting for that to come back, which can take up to 3 weeks. However, can be done within a week. So it depends how quick they are, but they say up to 3 weeks. So I'm just waiting for that. What else? What's been going on since then? Well, basically, I've literally today just been down to the funeral directors because I've taken complete control of my dad's funeral, organisation of his funeral, basically. So I've just taken mum down to speak to them and sort out the pricing and what we're looking for his send-off. So that's all been organised today, pricing and what we're looking for, which is great. I've literally just got, you can see here, I've got all the documents here, all the paperwork and stuff down here. So yeah, so it's been a busy morning. It's taken over 3 hours for that appointment, which is crazy. It's a lot to take in. I'm not sure, has anyone else experienced a close relative or a friend where you've had to take complete control of their funeral or the organisation of a funeral, and there's a lot to think about. This is the very first funeral I've had to take full control of. But yeah, any of you guys taken or had to take control of a funeral before? Let me know. What's your comments below? What do you think of it? I mean, it's not the most pleasant experience, of course, but it's something that has to be done, I guess. When someone close to you passes, you know, you have to try and be strong, I find. Yes, we all grieve in our own ways, but it's a time for being strong, I think, and for getting this done properly and not making no mistakes, I guess. But the funeral directors who we used in South London is where dad obviously lived with mum. Really helpful. They're actually really helpful, and I can't complain. 2 lovely ladies. Yeah, so can't complain really. It's been a pleasant experience is probably the best word you can think of. Despite the situation, it has to be done. I mean, the main reason for me updating you guys today is purely because I'm going to be carrying out a three-part series, or 3-part video, three-part training videos with the word I'm looking for. I've had lots of questions on previous videos with regards to training, HGV training, and the process of it. And I thought, you know what? Whilst I'm waiting for my license to come back to me, why not give you guys a bit more of an insight to my experience and to the process of becoming a HGV driver, if that makes sense. So I'm going to do a 3-part video sequence for you guys to help you, is probably the best word to put out there. As you know, I've used Mainstream Group as my training provider. I've left the link below this video for you to take a look at their website. Completely government funded for the transport of education. And if you want to gain your licenses, they don't only just do HGV, they do a number of other qualifications as well for existing drivers. So if you want your forklift truck license, HIAB, I think they do as well, and a number of other training courses also. Have a look at the website, I've left the link below. My experience on it and what you need to do to become a HGV driver, to get the process up and running. I'll take you onto my my desktop, and I'll show you the website and what you need, the process you need to go through to get the ball rolling if you want to become a HGV driver. So we'll do that. That's what we're going to do. So yeah, that's that. I wanted to give you an update on that. Keep it short, keep it simple. Let you guys know how it's going for me, because I have been busy. I have to say, I've been very busy this past week or so. Been a lot to think about. And yeah, it's been a real stranger. That motorbike's just gone past. He thought I was holding up a speed camera or one of them speed cameras, so he's given me the right evil out as he's gone past. He's gone now, but holding this GoPro looks really obvious. Looks quite weird. Anyway, got sidetracked. Yeah, so it's been a crazy week for me. It's been a crazy week, a lot to think about. So my head's not been in the best places at times, as you can understand. But you know what? I'm getting through it okay. I'm actually getting through it okay. Better than I thought. I guess everyone grieves in different ways and different times. That's probably the best way to put it across. But yeah, it's been a weird week. But I just want to keep you guys updated. And once again, I can't express this enough. I'm so grateful for all the support people have been giving me and the kind comments on the videos. I wasn't going to announce it, but I thought it was quite important to announce it, because you know what? It's actually been quite beneficial for me, having all the kind comments that you guys have been giving me, and all the support you've been giving me as well, saying that Dad will be proud of me. He'd be, you know, it's something he's always wanted you to do. You'll be so proud of you. Honestly, the comments are so nice. It's really got me through it. Honestly, it sounds crazy, but it really has. It just shows you that, you know, although the internet is full of a lot of real sad people, is a word to put it, it's also full of a lot of nice people. And you know, Dad died 3 weeks ago, and it's been nothing but support, and I can't tell you how grateful I am. I really am grateful. So thank you once again, guys. Honestly, I can't express that enough. So you're gonna get bored of me saying thank you, but I'd rather be honest with you and tell you how I feel than and be myself than not do that. So yeah, from the heart, thank you so much again. But yeah, let's get crack on. Let's crack on with the first video. I'm going to show you it's how I became a qualified HGV driver, and the process of me going through that, and how you can do exactly the same. So I'll speak to you on the other side of the video. Speak to you soon. Okay, so a slightly different one here, really. What I want to do is just basically show you the process that I followed from day one. So this was from before I started. Obviously, I was considering become a HGV driver way before I managed to apply for my course. However, I did some research on how to become a HGV driver, and I just went onto Google and I typed in how to become a HGV driver. Now, some people may say, you know, this might come across like I'm teaching you to suck eggs with this. However, it is still very important that I'm just trying to show you in simple terms on what I researched and what came up, what training providers came up, and what inspired me to become a HGV driver. So I did this. This is the process I followed. I did a bit of research on Google. I started looking at people also asked. All of these other keywords I looked at. I sort of looked at the drop-down menu, gave me a bit more of an insight to hours, to what the average pay could be per week, the cost of courses. You do get a little bit of an insight through Google. Anyway, then what I did is I actually got speaking to a friend of a friend, someone who works within. I think he was. Is he? Well, he was not a personal friend of mine, but I met him at a wedding. He was speaking to me about his HGV. He was thinking about becoming an LGV driver or a HGV driver at the time, and he lived in Sittingbourne. He recommended a company to me, and said, "Don't pay for your licenses. You can get it funded through the Transport of Education." He actually made an inquiry because he was unemployed at the time, and that sort of gave me the sort of inspired me to start looking. So I just typed in this, how to become a HGV driver. And this is what I looked at. I started looking. And then as I scrolled down, you look at all these training companies, basically, up and down the UK. And then I looked at these videos. I came across these videos here. And one of the videos that really jumped out to me, honestly, and this is the honest truth, was this video here. It's how to get you HGV license. How much does it cost? Well, I guess that should be your. And this is a video from Luke C in a HGV. Now, Luke C in a HGV has been, if you don't know who he is a HGV driver by career and a vlogger. He has his own YouTube channel, and he has a number of videos that come out every week. And that's sort of, I started following Luke, which inspired me to start looking at vloggers, to start looking at not just Luke, but that led me on to other YouTube vloggers or drivers as well. And that then encouraged me to start looking at becoming a driver and taking that step further. Now, I can go into speaking about COVID, etc., because that really made me realize during COVID, that gave me the kick at the backside I needed to make that move, if you like. But this video really inspired me from Luke, and it was recorded January 2021. Like I said, Luke's been online for longer than that. He's been online for a good few years now and had a channel for a good few years. He was one of the very first, I would say, HGV vloggers that I came across, and he was. So yeah, that video inspired me. I then started watching vlogs on HGV drivers, and then started following others, looking at an insight to what they do every day, what it's all about. Because before this point, I was really considering becoming a HGV driver anyway. Going back on to what I mentioned before, meeting a friend at a wedding, he then said, take a look at Mainstream Group. So I then went to Google. I came home, went onto Google, I then typed in Mainstream Group HGV. That's all I put in. And you can see the keywords that pop up, and then enter. And then this is how I found out about Mainstream Group in Sittingbourne. And you can see here, their website is here, directions. They're a legitimate company, registered company. They're no sort of third-party fault, that sort of thing. They're a genuine company that not only fund the training for the Transport of Education, but they have a number of courses they provide, and as you can see here, they provide the HGV Bootcamp. And this is how I found out about the HGV Bootcamp. I then clicked onto this link here, which then brought me onto the pathway on the HGV Skills Bootcamp, and I then just thought, you know what have I got to lose here? I've served the country. I'm a taxpayer. I've been in full-time employment for some time now. What have I got to lose? It's something I've wanted to do for years. I'm going to apply. I'm actually going to register my interest and just see what happens. So I then just read through the website, found out more about it. You've got Big Steve here. I've met Big Steve. He's a top bloke. I think he's ex-military actually, but the instructors are fantastic. Honestly, really, really good bunch of instructors from the office through to the instructors, in the trucks. And then I just clicked on to register online. That is pretty much all I did. Register online. I then filled out my application form, which was just here. So step 1, applicant, personal details of yourself, of course.
Then next, step 2 will be more along the lines of where you live, etc., etc. I think there's a 3-step process to go through for your application, and then it's down to the office to then do their checks, and then they either get back to you or they don't. If they get back to you, then yes, brilliant. It's a good sign that you really you could possibly have a placement. If they don't, there's obviously reasons behind it. Maybe the checks, the qualification checks they've carried out maybe don't suit their criteria or whatever it may be. I don't know the ins and outs of it, but I'm just giving you an example. And that's the process I followed. That was how my HGV career started. This is the process I followed. I started watching vloggers, HGV vloggers on YouTube, which inspired me to take step. I then went to a wedding, got speaking to someone who then mentioned Mainstream Group and mentioned that it can be funded because he knew I was ex-military as well. And he knows a few people that have done the same, and he was looking to do the same but didn't do it in the end because he found a new career elsewhere, so didn't pursue his HGV license, but he mentioned Mainstream Group. I knew what I wanted to do, so I took this step and followed this process. Went onto the website, and this is the application I filled in. It then took me, I think it was a good few weeks before they got back to me. It did take time because a lot of people do apply, and then obviously I followed the process and then went from there. I then received an email. They asked me a few more questions. I had to fill a few more applications out, a bit of identification I had to send over as well, and then that's how my journey started as a HGV driver with regards to my bootcamp process and me applying to Mainstream Group as well. So from being inspired, during COVID, from me being inspired to being a HGV driver through vloggers, to then finding out at a wedding that Mainstream Group existed, and basically going from there. That is basically how my journey started. Now, before all this started, I wanted to be a HGV driver for many, many years. I just haven't taken that step due to personal circumstances, due to my lifestyle, etc., etc. But it was COVID that made me think, you know what, I'm going to do something I've always wanted to do. And the amount of people I've come across who have changed their careers in their mid-40s, mid-50s, just to change their careers to become a HGV driver is unbelievable. And I'm not just saying that. On my channel alone, I've got so many positive comments and so many people that have changed their careers through the years, that have gone to a HGV driver after doing 20 years in retail or 20 years in working in Tesco or working for the Royal Mail. I've come across so many people with different industries that have gone to be a HGV driver in their 40s and 50s, and I'm even getting young guys in their 20s message me saying, I'm thinking about it, your videos, that sort of thing. So all age groups, all backgrounds are really interested in this, and it's a great sign for the future for becoming a lorry driver on the road. So that's how it all started for me. I just wanted to share this with you to show you the process of what you need to go through. I'll leave a link below this video once again so you can see for yourself how simple it is to get signed up and get started. You can even call them on the number here. Call us on this number here to speak to the office if you get stuck with anything as well. And like I said, guys, you can check the company on Companies House. They're a registered company. They're a genuine company. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I have personally spoken to people that have spent thousands of pounds on HGV courses and got nothing from it. These guys in the boot camp will take you through a number of hours. It is a bit of a process, but you'll learn a lot. And believe me, you'll walk away from it with your head held high and your knowledge being a lot better than some newly qualified drivers who do their licenses and then jump straight onto the road. And yes, you do learn on the road when you get started, but I'm just giving an example. And this is speaking to other drivers as well. So I hope this video helps for you guys. And I'll see you on the next video. And what I'll do on the next video is go through some hints and tips on the next video on how to pass your HGV theory test and hazard perception. I hope that helps you as well. So the whole idea of this is to give you an insight to how I got started, how you can do the same. So if you're struggling to get started, follow this process. Follow the vloggers, get an insight to what the industry is all about. Don't just go and do your HGV skills bootcamp because you just want your license and don't go into the industry. You want to find out more about it. It's not an easy job. These guys have got a tough job. Becoming a HGV driver is not easy. I've learnt that. I'm learning that now. It's tough. So I would recommend follow the vloggers on YouTube to get an insight to what they do every day before you apply for any sort of boot camp HGV course or any sort of HGV course. Make sure you know what you want to do before you apply, because the last thing you want to do is waste these guys, waste their time, because there's other people out there who would love to be a HGV driver, me being one of them, who wants to go into the industry and make something of it career-wise. So I'll see you on the next video.